So once again, good morning everyone. Our topic for today is about Republic Act number 10175, also known as Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines and Congress Assembly. So before we start, we would like to define cybercrime laws. Okay? Laws that creates the offenses and penalties for cybercrimes. Cybercrimes describe crimes directed at computers, data or information communication technologies, and crimes committed by people using computers or ICT. So I just want you to watch this video.
Welcome to the Investors Trading Academy, talking glossary of financial terms and events. Our word of the day is cybercrime. Cybercrime involves activities like raiding bank accounts and stealing information from companies. Computer crime or cybercrime is a crime that involves a computer and a network. The computer may have been used in the commission of a crime, or it may be the target. Cybercrimes are offences that are committed against individuals or groups of individuals with a criminal motive to intentionally harm the reputation of the victim or cause physical or mental harm or loss to the victim directly or indirectly, using modern telecommunication networks such as internet chat rooms, emails, notice boards, and groups and mobile phones. Such crimes may threaten a nation's security and financial health. Issues surrounding these types of crimes have become high profile, particularly those surrounding hacking, copyright infringement, child pornography, and child grooming. There is also problems of privacy when confidential information is intercepted or disclosed lawfully or otherwise. Activity crossing international borders and involving interests of at least one nation state is sometimes referred to as cyber warfare. The international legal system is attempting to hold actors accountable for their actions through the International Criminal Court.
So another video about cybercrime law.
Easier than a bank heist, but still illegal. Cybercrime is any criminal activity that involves a computer, networked device, or network. Cybercrime is usually committed to generate profit for the cybercriminals. However, some cybercrime targets specific devices to damage or disable them, or to spread malware, illegal information, images, or other malicious material. The ubiquity of internet connectivity and the anonymity, speed, and convenience it provides has dramatically increased the volume and pace of cybercrime activities. Crimes like ransom, fraud, money laundering, and harassment are easier to carry out than ever before. Unlike, say, an art heist, a criminal doesn't have to be present to physically commit a cybercrime. Just about anyone can engage in cybercrime. There's no one way to carry out a cyber attack. Cybercriminals use a variety of methods and techniques, such as distributed denial of service attacks, malware or ransomware attacks, phishing campaigns, and website hijacking. Social engineering is a large component to most types of cybercrime. Many cyber attacks rely on the victims activating malware with clicks or downloads, or falling for fake requests for money, information, or access. In business, cybercrimes typically have a financial impact, sometimes billions of dollars worth. And businesses can also experience reputational damage, share price drops, and sensitive data loss.
Okay, so another video for cybercrime. Okay, again. So this act shall known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, as I mentioned. The state recognized the vital role of information communication industries such as content production, telecommunication, broadcasting, electronic commerce, and data processing in the nation's overall social economic development. The state also recognized the importance of providing an environment conducive to the development, acceleration, and rational application and exploitation of information and communication technology to attain free, easy, and intelligible access to exchange and or delivery of information, and the need to protect and safeguard the integrity of computer and communication systems, networks and databases, and the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and data stored therein from all forms of misuse, abuse, and illegal access by making punishable under the law such conducts or conduct. The state shall adopt sufficient powers to effectively prevent and combat such offenses by facilitating their detection, investigation, and prosecution to both the domestic and international levels, and by providing arrangement for fast and reliable international cooperation. So, for purposes of this act, the following terms are hereby defined as follows. So access, it refers to the instruction, communication with, storing data in, retrieving data from, or otherwise making use of any resources of a computer system or communication network. Alteration refers to the modification or change in form of substance of an existing computer data or program. Communication refers to the transmission of information through ICT media, including voice, video, and other forms of data. So computer, it refers to an electronic, magnetic, optical, electrochemical, or other data processing or communication device, or grouping of such devices capable of performing logical, arithmetic, routing, or storage functions, and which include any storage facility or equipment or communication facility or equipment directly related to or operating in conjunction with the service. Computer data, it refers to any representation of facts, information, or concepts in form suitable for processing in a computer system, including a computer suitable to cause a computer system to perform a function, and includes electronic documents and or electronic data messages, whether stored in local computer system or online. So even texting, chatting, using social media networking, that is a part of a computer data. Computer program, especially you are IT or familiar with computer programs, it refers to a set of instructions executed by a computer to achieve intended results. You had, of course, computer system, refers to any service or group of interconnected related devices, one or more of which, pursuant to a program, performs automated processing of data. It covers any type of devices with data process capabilities, including but not limited to computers and mobile phones. The device consisting of hardware and software may include input, output, and storage components, which may stand alone or be connected in a network or other similar devices. It also includes computer data storage devices media. Without right refers to conduct undertaken without or in excess of authority. Conduct not covered by established legal defenses, excuses, court orders, justifications, or relevant principles under the law. Cyber, it refers to a computer or computer network, the electronic medium in which online communication takes place. Critical infrastructure, it refers to the computer system and or networks, whether physical or virtual, and or computer programs, computer data or traffic data, so vital to this country that the incapacity or destruction of or interference with such system and asset from have a debilitating impact on security, national or economic security, national public health and safety, or any combination of those matters. Cybersecurity, it refers to the collection of tools, policies, risk management approaches, actions, training, best practices, assurance, and technologies that can be used to protect the cyber environment and organization and user assets. Database. It refers to a presentation of information, knowledge, facts, concepts, or instructions which are being prepared, processed, or stored or have been prepared, processed, or stored in a formalized manner in which are intended for use in a computer system. So in our case, sometimes we are using MySQL, MS SQL, SQLite, Oracle, and others. Even in our phone, we have as a database. Interception refers to a listening to, recording, monitoring, or surveillance of the content of communication, including procuring of the content of data, either directly through access and use of a computer system or indirectly through the use of electronic eavesdropping or tapping devices at the same time that the communication is occurring. Service provider refers to any public or private entity that provides to user of each service the ability to communicate by means of computer system. Any other entity that processes or stores computer data on behalf of such communication services or users of such service. So this will be the subscriber's information refers to any information contained in the form of computer data. The type of communication service used the technical provision taken thereto and period of service. So the subscriber identity, the postal or geographic address, telephone and other access numbers, then any other available information on the site of the installation communication equipment, available on the basis of service agreement or an arrangement. So the traffic data or non-content data, it is an any computer data other than the content of communication, including but not limited to the communication's origin, destination, route, time, date, size, duration, or type of underlying service. The cybercrime offenses. Offenses against the confidentiality, integrity of the computer data and systems, so illegal access and illegal interception. Another is data interference and system interference. Misuse of devices, over the use, production, sale, procurement, importation, distribution, or otherwise making available without right. A computer password, access code, or similar data by which the whole or any part of computer system is capable of being accessed with intent that it be used for the purpose of committing any of offenses under this act. So misuse of devices. So we have cyber squatting, okay, the acquisition of a domain name over the internet in bad faith to profit, mislead, destroy reputation, and deprive others from registering the same such a domain name. So similar, identical, or in any way similar with the name of a person, or acquire without right or with intellectual property interest. So for example, somebody created an account in your behalf, no? So that is also a cyber squatting. computer-related offenses. So we have computer-related perjury, the input, alteration, or deletion of any computer data without right, resulting in authentic data with the intent. So for example, you are previously working in a company, then during your resignation, you deleted the files. So that is a computer-related perjury. Computer-related fraud, the authorized input, alteration, or deletion of computer data or program or interference in the functioning of a computer system, causing damage thereby with fraudulent intent. Okay? Identity theft, the intentional acquisition, use, misuse, transfer, possession, alteration, or deletion of identifying information belonging to another, whether a natural or juridical, without right. So, the content-related offenses, we have cyber sex, the willful engagement, maintenance, control, or operation directly or indirectly of any lascivious exhibition of sexual organs or sexual activity with the aid of a computer system for favor or consideration. So you are familiar with that, right? Because there's some news, no, related to cyber sex, no? The child, most commonly the child, no, performing in the internet, and somebody viewed, no, or watching with fee. That is cyber sex. Then child pornography. So the unlawful or prohibited acts defined and punishable by Republic Act number 9775 or the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009. So there is a law intended for child pornography. That is Republic Act number 9775. So if you wanted to show it, you just you could able to download that through the Republic Act number 9775 or Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009. Unsolicited commercial communications, the transmission of commercial electronic communications. There is a prior affirmative consent from recipient, and the primary intent of communication is for service and or administrative announcement from the sender to its existing users, subscriber, or customers. The following conditions are present: the commercial electronic communications, the simple, valid, and reliable, does not purposely disguise the source of the electronic message, or does not purposely include misleading information in any part of the message in order to induce the recipient to read the message. Libel. The unlawful or prohibited acts of libel as defined in Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code as amended, committed through a computer system or any other similar means which may be devised in the future. So for those who are posting malicious either pictures or with some informations, or if somebody, of course, trying to, the most commonly, no, yung binabagsak natin yung kapwa natin through online, sinisiraan natin, that is libel. The following act shall also constitute an offense. So aiding or abetting in the commission of cybercrime, attempt and commission of cybercrime. All crimes defined and penalized by the Revised Penal Code as amended and special laws, and liability under other laws. So penalties, take note with the penalties. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable act enumerated in the section 4A and B shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or bought. Then for section 4A and 5, 500,000 or bought. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated Section 4C1 of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos, but not exceeding 1 million or both. Imagine that. So any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C2 shall be punished with the penalties as enumerated in the Republic Act 9775 or the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009. So any person found guilty of any of punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C3, that is 50,000 to 250,000. Then a person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 5, that is 100,000 to 500,000. Corporate liability. So a power of representation of the juridical person provided the act committed falls within the scope of such authority. An authority takes decision on behalf of the juridical persons and the authority to exercise control within the juridical person shall be held liable for a fine equivalent to at least a double of fines imposable in Section 7 up to maximum of 10 million pesos. So this one is 5 million pesos. Of course, made possible to the lack of supervision or control by the natural person. The liability imposed on the juridical person shall be without prejudice to the criminal liability of the natural person who was committed the offense. Of course, that is under the Bureau of National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police. The NBA and the PNP shall organize a cybercrime unit or center manned by a special investigator to exclusively handle cases involving violation of this act. So duties of laws enforcement authorities. Real-time collection of traffic data. Of course, traffic data refers only to the communication origin, destination, route, time, date, size, duration, or type of underlying service, but not content nor identities. So the court warrant under this section shall only be issued or granted upon written application and the examination under oath or affirmation of the applicant and the witnesses he may produce and showing that there are reasonable grounds to believe that any of the crimes enumerated herein above has been committed or being committed or is about to committed. That there are reasonable grounds to believe in evidence that will be obtained in essential to the conviction of any person or to the solution of or to the prevention of or any such crime, and that there are no other means readily available for obtaining such evidence. Preservation of computer data. So the integrity of traffic data and subscriber information relating to communication services provided by a service provider shall be preserved for a minimum period of 6 months from the date of the transaction. So take note, no, that the subscriber information must be only preserved up to minimum 6 months. Content data shall be similarly preserved for 6 months also. Law enforcement authorities may order a one-time extension for another 6 months. Disclosure of computer data. Law enforcement authorities, upon securing a court warrant, shall issue an order requiring any person or service provider to disclose or submit subscriber information, traffic data, or 11 data, relevant data on a possession or control within 72 hours from receipt. Search, seizure, and examination of computer data. Where a search and seizure warrant is properly issued, the law enforcement authority shall likewise have the following powers and duties. So within the time period specified in the warrant to conduct intercept as defined in this act. Secure a computer system or computer data storage medium. To make and retain a copy of those computer data secure. To maintain the integrity of the relevant stored computer data. To conduct forensic analysis or examination of the computer data storage. Or to render inaccessible or remove those computer data in the access computer or computer communication network. Custody of the computer data. So all computer data, including content and traffic data, examined under a proper warrant shall within 48 hours only after the expiration of the period fixed therein, it be deposited in the court. Okay? Destruction of the computer data. Upon expiration of the periods as provided in Section 13 and 15, service providers and law enforcement authorities, as the case may be, shall immediately and completely destroy the computer data subject of the preservation and examination. Then exclusionary rule. Any evidence procured without a valid warrant or beyond the authority of the same shall be inadmissible for any proceeding before any court of tribunal. So restricting or blocking access to computer data. When a computer data is prima facie found to be in violation of the provision of this act, the Department of Justice shall issue an order to restrict or block access to such computer data. For non-compliance, failure to comply with the provision of Chapter 4 thereof, specifically the orders from the law enforcement authority, shall be punished as a violation of Presidential Decree number 1829 with a maximum period of or fine of 100,000 pesos. Maybe, of course, you are familiar with the I Love You virus, no? You are also familiar with the Katrina Halili versus Haydenco in the Anti-Photo or Video Voyeurism Act of 2009. The offenses against the confidentiality and availability of computer data and system. Then at the same time, of course, the illegal access, the ethical hackers, the illegal interception, the data interference, system interference, cyber squatting, cyber-related offenses, perjury, fraud, identity theft, and offenses. The child service sex, the pornography, and unsolicited commercial communication. That this will be the coverage of this chapter. Even the e-commerce law must be considered, of course, the encryption, the public encryption, the digital signature, and what you should do if you lost your credit card. So I think that's it, and thank you for listening.